My latest CBT video with Hella got so many comments asking about the Begetter update, so I thought I'd take some time to check it out. What the? Let's talk today about the Begetter buffs, adjustments, how it looked pre-nerf, post-nerf, and what are the current expectations. I'll also be having a second video to showcase a full solo run of instances, as well as answering community Q&A questions, so please be on the lookout for that. Do remember that this is CBT footage. More changes or adjustments could always happen. All these changes are still in a testing phase. You may not know this about me, but Alchemist was actually my first DPS class unlocked in ROM. I would carry my guildies through ET with my buddy Amister 3 times per account a week, fought off others at Orc Ladies, and farmed myself into red once upon a time too. So the job itself holds a very special place in my heart. And I love running around with my little friends, taking down bosses together, throwing fire everywhere. Really, what's not to enjoy here? Okay, so let's go over what the CBT December 29th patch notes had changed. First, let's quickly go over some of the minor design changes, and then I'll emphasize the bigger ones and why they were such a big deal. The Alchemy skill Fire expansion no longer has a prerequisite learning condition. This frees up a lot of points in the current skill tree, as it currently takes up at least 9 points to unlock this skill currently. The fixed casting time of the Alchemy skill Homunculus Repair is changed to a variable casting time. Fantastic. This means you can make this instant cast super duper easily. When the Alchemist is attacked, the Homunculus will automatically perform a counterattack. This means they'll react to you being attacked, even if you have nothing down, so long as you have them in their battle stance. Alchemist Rune, Vine, Purgatory Rune. New entry, Hell Plant. The number of summons reaches the upper limit when used. This is really cool for instances. This means as soon as you put down one Hell Plant, all 3 will now spawn within a second. This is much easier for ramping up in shorter battles like the new Chaos Dungeon, or in older content where things are blasted so quickly. Since Hell Plants also provide you with healing through symbiosis from the Begetter skill tree, this means you can also get a lot of trickle heals very, very quickly. My only criticism is that I hope they make this a toggle or even a separate unlock skill. Otherwise, we need to have 2 versions of this rune for farming, or if we want to spread out our plants for zoning out in PvP, or simply for high detection in multiple areas. Now, let's move on to the bigger design changes that we want to take a closer look at. The Alchemy skill Homunculus Merge will no longer make the Homunculus disappear, and you won't get the Homunculus skills. Alchemy Rune, Void Summon Rune. Entry is changed from you can carry an extra Homunculus to can carry an extra Homunculus and make all Homunculus not die. The Alchemy Homunculus inherits the special attributes of their masters: neglect, penetration, race damage, etc. The combination of these major design changes are absolutely huge. Currently when merged, the Homunculus will be merged into the Begetter's body, and you have the ability to gain their skills, which usually allows for extra utility. With this change, however, you are merged to gain some extra stats, but they stay on the field and continue to do damage and use their own skill set. This is one of the massive design changes, and why empowering Homunculi moving forward might be very crucial. Then, we have an update to the Void Summon Rune, where the 3rd line is updated to basically say the Homunculi are immortal. This basically makes them the equivalent to Hela's Hellhound, who is also immortal, but now they can be out forever and never die to even boss damage. And now they take the stats of their fellow Begetter. This is amazing and really amplifies their capabilities. There are some more specifics about changes about the Homunculus specific skills if you want to check them out really briefly. But I do want to start showcasing the changes to you. Now, I do have some pre-nerf and post-nerf to show you, because as of a CBT update in early January, they did make some adjustments because they may have been just a little bit overtuned. I was able to solo a lot of content super easily, one-shot MVPs in Chaos Dungeon, and a whole lot more prior to the nerfs. I took down Legendary Komodo Dragon too, even though it was a little messy. I think my dummy testing was the funniest clips because we were able to just push things with the Homunculi even when I was testing Vandal Mirth. I was wearing honestly garbage gear and not even a properly refined weapon, and it was already melting down this dummy. And then the adjustments happened. They primarily adjusted the timing of some skills and also calmed down the given attributes between the Begetter and the Homunculi. Now, how detrimental of a nerf was this though? So I was unable to hit the MVP dummy kill meme dream I did before in Eleanor. Vandal Mirth was also properly not doing that much as I was still not in proper magic attack gear. But can I still solo content? The answer was yes. I was still able to solo Oracle Nightmare, Purgatory, Valhalla Ruins, Chaos Dungeons, which is a new upcoming instance, without any issue. I even soloed Legendary Magma Golem again, so long as I don't get caught in the one-shot mechanic, just like the first time around. I was even able to solo the newest Void bosses super easily in comparison to my Nogu. That's right. Even the latest one added to the CBT, who has a lot of extra mobs in the fight. My Homunculi were able to control and take them down without any issue, whereas my Nogu was taking way too much damage when trying to solo. The Homunculi healing and taking over for me while I was able to dodge the blades in particular that day made it super easy in comparison. So Begetters are still in a really good place with these changes. I'm really excited about it. The thing with Begetters, as I began to relearn them, is that they're still rather complex as a job class, and I think that's more so what might be turning off players from playing them seriously, rather than just their current power level. When I first started testing, I was still missing buffs because I forgot just how many this class needs active for them to be at full power. And I'm gonna admit it, I got yelled at by my guild mates for pointing out that I was completely missing my Homunculus upgrades with their extra skills. Like I've said time and time again, this is why I heal. But I'm still very excited, and I hope there's still improvements to come. I could see them maybe condensing their buffs into less buttons. I really hope so anyway. There's just so many buttons. I feel like I'm playing my saint. So would you like to start working on your Begetter? I will leave you with a couple of tips if you want to prep ahead of time. One thing you may want to know is, does the level of the Homunculi seem to matter? And I would say yes, they do. I noticed a difference in working on my Homunculi over a couple of days on the CBT in order to continue testing. So if you want to level your Homunculi, it does take a long time to get them to max base level. The amount of XP they need is massive. There are still Begetters to this day without max level, so don't worry about trying to hit max necessarily. But I would suggest getting them past 100 in order to start dealing some good damage and unlocking their final skills and forms. I think their level probably matters versus the monster or boss level, but this is only a guess. So the higher they are, the better they should perform. I would first suggest having the Void Summon rune already active with the extra line to have 2 out so both can get experience. You can have them both out while farming in the open field, or if you of course use a different job for farming, which is understandable, you could still use some spare CT for the Rift instance, as it does work on them. If they are super low, this is a great way to at least empower them to level 100 very quickly, so you can upgrade them to their special skills at the very least. The other thing you can utilize is base experience potions. Now, of course, it's up to you if you want to continue hoarding them, but as we still haven't gotten any updates currently about a new zone or level update yet, I'm sure we could spare a few, right? I used a bunch on the CBT for testing just how much experience you can get, so let me show you the results. As you can see, after using up so many, it still takes a lot to get to very high levels. I'm still working on these Homunculi when I can, at least with rifts, because I really do hope to max them out. How did you like the preview today? Do you have any questions? I'll be having a quick follow-up video where I go through all weekly instances and answer community Q&A questions as well, so please keep an eye out on that. Thanks again so much as always for your support. I hope you enjoyed the Begetters Sneak Peek today. Thank you so much for watching. Do you have any questions? Feel free to let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, it would be super appreciated if you could like and subscribe. I also have tips and info, ROM news over in the community tab. Be sure to hit the bell and be notified to never miss out. I hope I see you again in the next video. Until next time, adventure, let's guard the eternal love together.